And hey, I just noticed that when I was doing this, my OBS gave me a warning. So I'm just going to double check that we're actually live. Hey, why should we ever be professional while starting up this show?
Oh, we can
Welcome
stop doing that now? Oh,
everybody.
thank God. Oh.
Welcome everybody to Trick Roll, where we're totally competent at what we do, and we're glad that you decided to come and join our competence.
Well, no, Phillips, you're not wrong. We're good at causing chaos.
Yep. Even the technology has to do something chaotic. So we'll do introductions here in just a second. I just want to give a quick recap because we might have another player joining us as soon as his technology works. Yay, Zoom. My name's Andy. I'm not going to claim to be the game master here. I'm just the guy who's rolling some dice and throwing stuff at the party. We're going to meet our party here in just a second. So I'm just going to recap because it's been a couple of weeks and I might need reminders from Jacob and Zertan what all's happening here. So Zertan and Jacob have wandered into the town of Twin Drinks, which is a small village in a valley that has a bar on opposite sides. During the course of them just seeing what sort of jobs were available, they got attacked by a man who was apparently infested with some kind of fungus. I swear I did not make that up from Last of Us. It was, I ripped it off from another source. Anyway, so they fought this random guy. The random guy's daughter, totally understanding that he was long dead and controlled by some kind of necrotic fungus, still, for the sake of family honor, has to swear a blood debt against Zertan and Jacob, so she's off training. They then find out that there's a dragon a few miles away. They go to investigate, and they get told by a local bird that the dragon has set up a 2-week notice for the village to pay tribute, or it's getting wiped out. So rather than burst in like the heroic paladin and artificer they are, they run back to town and start trying to recruit help. Jacob has been able to will be able to convert 3 houses with their own cannons in the windows. And Zertan has inspired the local taverns to, 1, call for more adventurers. That's who we're going to be meeting shortly. And the other, to go out and kill the dragon themselves, because dragon rights are better than bragging rights. Now, did I miss anything important, guys?
Nope. A good joke?
I've already got you.
He said a good joke.
Oh!
Well played. And just for that, Basil, you get to introduce yourself first. We will meet the rest of the group in a moment.
All right. My character is Basil Thistlewick, and he is an Eladrin druid. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, just who you are. Do you stream anywhere else? And then you can also introduce your companion to the group.
No, I've never streamed anywhere else. This is the first time I've ever streamed a campaign, and I am operating out of the lovely public library in my town because my house does not have insulation and I can't use the garage right now.
That's great reasons to make use of public services.
Putting those tax dollars to good use.
Kyle, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kyle. I'm playing Joseph Lucerno, a very, very, very bald and sneaky rogue soul knife who is currently wondering how he's managed to end up from where he was last to here, because he just remembers talking with his best friend, and now suddenly he is standing in the middle of a place that is preparing for dragon invasions. It's like, I was supposed to be over here, but I didn't expect it to be this soon.
Well, and that actually brings us to the person who is probably trying to give a pep talk to a bunch of villagers. Crumpler.
Hello, everyone. I'm Crump64, also known as Just Crump. Tonight I am playing Zertan, the Lyrwin Paladin Oath of Glory flavoring. He is currently recruiting as many people as he can because he has had 2 weeks to prepare for an invasion. Don't think about it too hard. An invasion of a certain dragon variety. He does not know of a dragon, but doesn't know what kind of dragon he's facing, but enough that if they're giving them 2 weeks, they certainly must be wise. So they must be a formidable opponent.
So,
Meanwhile, Jacob.
yeah, Jacob, who are you?
Hi, I'm Ashes. Today I'll be playing the vacationing edgelord, the battlesmith artificer Jacob von Colton, who at this current point in time is watching several villages be traumatized as he constructs arcane cannons in their base attic.
I forgot you considered this a vacation.
So the way I pictured the village of Twin Drinks right now is that there's the group of trained adventurers who have come in for the prospect of both the glory and the gold from fighting a dragon. And then there are the others who are just a bunch of farmers who are currently trying to practice using their pitchforks as a weapon because, again, they were told that if whichever tavern can bring down the dragon gets to keep the dragon's head and thus be the prominent tavern of Twin Drinks. Because there's been a generational feud between the two from the Tavern A and Tavern 1. Yeah, that's how much story I put into this place.
Romeo and Juliet romance plot come in.
Sorry, Zertan's not my type.
Oh, come on.
So,
Like that was ever a suspicion.
It's more like when you grow up in a town with 2 Denny's. If you live on one side of the town that's closer to one Denny's, you go, let's go to the good Denny's, and go to the opposite side of the town.
exactly.
You know everyone that goes to the one that's closer to you, so you want to go where,
Yeah.
no one. You don't have to go. You don't see
You wanna
anyone you
go-
know from work.
You want to go where nobody knows your name.
As a place that has no Denny's, I do not understand this.
I
I
would
don't
say
have a
Waffle
Denny's.
House, but you won't understand that either.
Think, it's a best way. Think of a breakfast meal that is perfectly okay all the time. Denny's.
So Weatherspoon's breakfast.
Yeah, so basically a breakfast that is okay and that's it.
Yeah, we do have some of that. It's called Weatherspoons.
Okay, then that's your weather. There you go.
Yeah.
Your Denny's is Weatherspoons, vice versa.
But Weatherspoons also sells really cheap booze.
Then it's Tavern A.
Yeah. definitely.
Okay, so guys, you've got a couple of in-game weeks to prep everything. So how are you going about that?
I have found the 3 most viable buildings and started building.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intelligence check to see how well that building is going.
I was gonna say,
This
I'd say
will
3
affect
viable
which die
buildings.
is
Are we-
your cooldown.
I was going to say 3 viable buildings. Okay, are we talking about library, town hall, and then
Okay, so may I use my Tinker's tool proficiency?
So do what now?
Am I use my Tinker's tool proficiency?
Yes, you would.
Okay, so that is so that's a 27.
27. Okay.
Only
You
at
are
27.
you are doing an excellent job on these cannons. The cooldown should be relatively minor. But we will say, like, when you roll a nat 1, that might degrade them a little bit, just because giving you access to arcane cannons was already a bit extreme. But this is a dragon, so
Yeah.
Zertan,
Oh,
what are
oh.
you doing?
Oh, by the way, just to make sure, I didn't ask. I walked into the house and I'm building a cannon. Went up to the attic.
Great. Breaking and entering.
Normally,
why don't ya?
I would say that might be a bit of a problem, but they know a dragon is on the way, so they're not fighting you. Just like,
All right.
honey, is the cannon going to stay up there? You're damn right, the cannon's going to stay up there. We're not giving that thing up after this.
Just imagine
Alright.
the tax collectors coming down the street, walking.
What tax collectors?
Keep walking,
They ain't gonna
boy.
mess with this one anymore. So
Sorry,
we
not-
need to collect from the Smith house. Smith house is paid up. Going on.
Well, the Smith House is now part of the town defense system. So
Now, now I'm actually going to be calling my arcade cannons tax exemption.
This is gonna up the resale value of this place. What are we gonna take away this level of charity?
imagine the realtors. And if you look in the attic, you'll find some lovely town defense missiles.
Okay, I'm going to say, because I was planning on implementing this anyway, Arshis, because your cannons were on a different system. The rest of you, whatever you come up with, if it's good enough, you will get inspiration. Arshis, don't worry, you'll get chances for inspiration also. Jesse, how is your preparations going?
Let's see how we're doing. You mind if I roll for persuasion to see how that one's going?
Go for you. I was going to say you could be meeting with the other adventurers, or you can be in charge of the peasants. It's your choice.
Yeah.
And if you want to try to do both, I'm cool with that also. But you tell me what you're doing.
Well, the persuasion's a 1, so this could go either way. Let's say we're at Tavern A to begin with.
Okay.
So I imagine he's just like trying to tell like everyone preparing for this dragon, and someone, so what kind of dragon we're facing? And he has to tell, and it's one of the moments he has to do something very much that is against his very much of his morals. He has to lie. And so it's that moment I just imagine he just fumbling, bumbling, crumbling, like trying to just come up with a story of what kind of dragon they're facing. And it's everyone's just like, the facts are not lining up.
Let's roll for the crowd. The crowd got a 7. So they're like, is that how dragons work? I don't know. I've never actually seen a dragon. He knows what he's talking about. Probably.
The dragon is missing a toe, but if you don't know which one, that could be advantage or disadvantage depending on the level of dragon.
Okay, so they are trying to create their patterns that they will stand in, because they know that at least one of them will survive being stepped on by the dragon.
Yeah.
And that's good enough. So if we stand here, he can only crush 2 of the 3 of us. That's really good odds, guys. And thus Dragon Roulette was formed.
Yes.
It will probably be changed to Boulder Roulette in the future, where people just gather in a cave and start shooting things at the roof to see if the rocks hit them or not. I'm gonna write that down real quick. Boulder Roulette. Using your
That's-
game, tell me how it works.
That sounds like a party killer.
Just go to the Feywild, find a casino, and people are just playing Boulder Roulette.
God, this
Okay.
seems awful.
First, it's probably Vivi who created it
Right.
in the Feywild.
Okay, so
What was
so Zertan, while I can't give you inspiration for that, I know you're going to take this in a way. I am going to say you get to describe how the peasant army functions, because I think you will have fun with that.
So I imagine it's like going to like the idea you can't really train like peasants other than just going through basic mechanics.
Mhm.
So you can't, like he's not the kind of person that can bring a militia from dust. I imagine it's just like, we're gonna start with pitchforks. We're dealing with
Mhm.
what you have, and then start from there.
Okay. Give me another charisma check for your training. Actually, I would say this could be, I think persuasion is the best one for this, because you're sort of demonstrating how to use a pitchfork.
All right, 18 on that one.
18. Okay. So they are able to thrust their pitchforks with enough proficiency. You think they can kill a scarecrow.
Progress. Progress.
It's still better than how I taught the last militia.
That is fair. Speaking
Please tell me
of
that's when
which,
Joseph walks in.
Joseph, you are here. You see this lion man training an army of farmers how to use their pitchforks. How are you contributing to the war effort?
I just look around and I go, everything is too loud. All the hinges. If we must move through this entire town, it must be silently.
Joseph, roll for stealth forces.
Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
No whammy, no whammy.
I'm hoping it's either a nat 20 or a nat 1. That would be just hilarious.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect.
Oh, we already hit our nat 1 quota. Like, we can only go up from here. That's how dice work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, so 15 plus 12 is 27, so I've gotten a 27 total.
Okay, Joseph, what do you do to make the town quiet?
It's simple.
Zertan gets
that's how it
his
works.
inspiration for the battle.
So I am pretty much like having everyone bring together all of their loud stuff that needs oiling, and I'm oiling it down, and I'm changing the ball bearings out and wheels, and I'm bringing everything to where it's like super duper just silent, and making sure that all of the door hinges don't squeak. But on top of that, I'm taking everybody's armor and I'm dipping it in oil for like 2 or 3 days and then pulling it out, and then I'm testing to see how well it moves for those who have oil or who have armor. And I'm like making sure that it doesn't squeak or even like make any sort of sound. I'm just pretty much making an army of ninjas.
I love the energy, but I'm not quite ready to give inspiration for that one. But this will come into effect for how the battle plays out, I promise.
Yay!
Basil, what
Yes.
can you add to this?
Basil's gonna look around at all these peasants practicing their scarecrow massacring. He's gonna pull out a map or a brochure. He's gonna pull out a brochure of the material planning, and he's gonna look at it and say, "I didn't realize it was dragon season. Juniper, did you know anything about this?"
Well, of course I knew about this. It is very common for the mortals of this plane to hunt dragons. It's, I believe this is green season because everything is green.
Ah, so it's like when we go with the satyrs and go, chasing women around.
Exactly like that. They're going to find the dragon and then everybody's going to drink.
Exactly. Perfect hunting allegory, right?
Exactly. That's that. I mean, it's not quite as much fun as the wild hunt, but it's really close to the wild hunt.
Oh, but the wild hunt is fantastic. I mean,
Nothing can compare to the wild hunt, but they do the best they can. Oh my God, I told you lions could talk.
All right. Here's your gold.
Pulls out a pen and pad and like, that's one for me.
All
There's
right, you got
70
that
marks.
one.
There's 70 marks there under Basil's name.
All right. So, does anybody have anything else they want to do before the battle actually kicks off? You can all kind of be like together talking about this.
I would normally want to chime in on that, but with my passive perception of 10, I imagine the training of the peasants would have drowned out at that last conversation.
You didn't even notice that there was somebody with an oily cloth polishing you from behind. Which is what Joseph has been doing for the past 12 hours.
I missed the cough button. I didn't realize to give reverb on that one. shots.
You had that much bass in your voice when you cough.
Yes, so I got nothing else going on other than continuing to train.
I'm sorry for this, but Covergirl, put the bass in your cough.
Every time
Thanks.
you cough, everybody there's gonna be a small shockwave.
Thunder damage.
Depends on the
Accidentally
strength
cast
of the cough.
Thunderwave.
Under the right circumstances, yes.
Roar of the lion thunder. Okay.
Just the moment where just like I pull the peasant aside, everything the like touches is in very danger of being flammable, so we better protect those next.
Oh god, and I'm covering everything in highly flammable oil.
You didn't catch on to that? What do you think I didn't give you advantage for?
Ah, if I'd known we were fighting a fire dragon, I would have woken up with a different season.
And just meanwhile, peasant, no one knows the type of dragon we're fighting, so we're just fighting at all levels.
I'm not getting prepared in case it's a green dragon. That's just we don't have that many rags, and I don't think anybody can fill that many bladders. That was a bad World War I joke. I'm sorry.
No,
That's
I
not-
mean,
that's-
I just wasn't going to comment on it. If I do need to comment on it, I'm going to use this portable sound booth my sister-in-law got me. Because, oh my God, why do I do this to myself every week?
I believe I think it's a branch of masochism.
Probably. Best way I can describe it. You find me a DM who isn't a little bit of a masochist or a sadist. I mean,
I've never met one.
Like I would love to defend myself on that, but I'm pretty sure there are many people that would not believe a single word I would say.
yeah, I can go ask the Lady Crumps after this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you're coming to the end of the 2 weeks. Tomorrow is the deadline. Joseph is just brings the scent of oil with him into the room before he gets there.
His very, 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 very slickly shaven head is quite shiny now.
Yeah, he actually slides into the room because the door doesn't make a sound when it opens, and his feet just got so much oil, he just glides in like magic.
Like a penguin.
No, like Tom Cruise in Risky Business.
Exactly. But please have your pants on.
Oh, you're no fun.
We are a family show, damn it.
No,
Well,
no,
F
we're
word.
not.
Jesse is the
All right.
purest guy in the room right now.
Just like the purest guy in like across two different countries in a continental divide.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's I have never received a compliment of that level of integrity.
The worst part is none of us can argue against it. Like we're just like, no, he's a paragon compared to the rest of us.
I just got here and I can already tell he's better than me.
So
Anyway, so I imagine Zertan is just like has gone back and forth between the taverns because if it's the last day, morale is the last thing that needs to be worked on. So I just imagine he's just where it's like he wants troops in high spirits.
Mhm.
So this is where it's like he's basically using his voice to where I can't stop you from drinking, and I can't stop you from your feelings, but I just where it's like, but what I can do is ensure that how you celebrate tonight, you celebrate like like as if you will die tomorrow.
Give some inspirational role for us there, because
26. Here we
26.
go.
Okay. I'm going to give a couple of different rolls because I want to see how the different groups are reacting. Okay. So there, you have one group that begins to cheer. One group begins to pray to their gods. One group just starts drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, just like they kick the bartender out, grab the bottles, just up in them.
But is it the
They're-
fun kind of drinking or the sad kind of drinking?
Yes,
God.
you have both kinds.
Mm.
They're the people who are sure that this is going to lead to victory, the Valhalla level drinking, and then it's like, oh my God, this is my last day on Earth. I am not going to go out with these memories.
Oh, boy.
Some people are taking small hammers while they turn the bottle up. They're breaking the top so they can shotgun the whiskey. And then you have a fourth group who decides that they're going to take out all their grudges before this night is over, and they start a fist fight. You don't even know if some of them actually had a grudge. They decided that they want to get into a fight their last night on Earth.
I'm going to organize it into an event where I can make cash.
Good times.
That feels like a persuasion roll.
Watching the red sparkly die bounce around forever.
Okay, well, we're waiting on that. Archus, any last minute?
I thought you were supposed to say any last words. It was just like, where's this going?
Any final words before your demise?
Until your vacation becomes to an end.
Jacob's just stepped out, like grease covering his face. Only thing that's blocking his eyes is his steampunk goggles. And he just rocks up, starts grabbing weapons, taking them to Snippy, and starts fine-tuning them.
Okay, give me a roll for that, please.
Sure. Okay.
And Joseph, I am rolling for the other side of yours. I'm going to change out these dice before the end of this. All right, so Joseph, you are now organizing the fight club and taking bets. I will roll for your winnings in after this. Jacob,
That's a 19.
19. Okay. Yeah, you are going to be able to give a bit of an advantage to the peasant army. And just for that, I will go ahead and grant you an inspiration also, but they will have a little bit of an advantage with their weapons. Joseph, you're going to make a grand total of 5 gold before this is over, because these people don't carry as much money as you do. But you can also, if you decide to, you can also bet people their share of the upcoming loot.
I will do that.
Okay, so in that case, instead of making 5 gold, depending on how this fight goes, because if you guys don't beat the dragon, you owe them that same in your personal funds. So this could come out badly for you if you don't survive. Well, I just
If I
realized
don't survive, I don't
bet.
care. If I
That's
don't,
fair.
no, it's win-win for me. If I survive and we've defeated the dragon, more gold for me. If I don't survive and the dragon wins, I don't have to pay because I'm dead.
Fortunately, my rolls have been so bad, none of them see that as a problem. So a group of these adventurers just promised Joseph their share of the gold if they all die. If they don't die. So,
If they don't die, that's different. He has to make sure they don't die.
So Joseph, we're going to do it this way. When it comes to rolling for loot, you'll gain advantage.
Yay!
Basil, any last second things?
Basil's gonna watch the fight club and he's just gonna kind of look at Juniper. I wonder, I don't know for certain, but seeing centaurs, I think this is a mortal mating ritual. They're getting ready to copulate on the last night on Earth.
Oh, yes. And she's like, just pretending like, well, of course. I mean, it's the satyr in them because all mortals are descendants of satyrs, and that's what they do to celebrate impending grief and
And
also to establish a pecking order.
at this time, Jacob walks past and says, "You're a pair of idiots, aren't you?" And walks off.
What? I didn't catch that.
He basically Jacob walks past grabbing weapons, hears this, and goes, "You're a pair of idiots, aren't you?" And walks off.
Excuse me, we're two halves of a whole idiot.
Noted.
Thank you very much.
So you're a greater idiot.
Exactly.
I am the greatest at everything. He is
Precisely,
very
she is the
cool.
greatest idiot I've ever met.
Thank you. Idiot is a high compliment among the mortal plane.
Of
You're all
course,
idiots.
obviously. Everyone in here is an idiot. Huzzah!
And this is where you get your ass kicked.
Not with these rolls.
Nope.
You have the
Plus-
ones who were probably already mad, but they're already in a fight, or they are becoming too drunk to care, and they all yell "Huzzah!" Also,
By the way, the dragon fight is tomorrow, right? Like it's
Yes.
a post. So I did roll for tomorrow's season.
oh, okay. So if you survive, you know what your season's going to be.
Oh, I thought the battle
Oh.
was after dawn.
Oh yeah.
So
So this will
day
be
dawn
yeah,
tomorrow.
exactly. I'm thinking the next day. Like yeah. Okay. So
It's suddenly winter.
No, my season.
Yeah.
I changed it
in
every
the
dawn.
Feywild, it does change dramatically.
Yes, it
Oh
does.
yeah, it's just like Iowa. You blink and all of a sudden you go from spring to winter. It's like, how did I go backwards?
And
So-
Tennessee, we're
and
currently in our summer.
That
And
that
all of
really does
England.
explain. That explains so much about Slipknot now.
and all fairness, that sounds
Everything
like-
starts to click in this one little town. Like every conspiracy theory becomes true and untrue at the same time.
Somewhere off to the side, there's just a guy who's like, "Oh yes, it's all coming together."
Yeah.
And then he blinks out of existence off to another place to make
Ah, of
coincidences
course.
oddly to just tie the
The Fey
strings
King.
of fate together.
The Traveler?
like the Chinese spy balloons.
I'm going to
and
call him the
and
Journeyer
the
because
acid spill.
okay, so we now have another shadow NPC who's just there making all the weirdness happen. I'm glad it's not just something that I'm doing.
It's our G-man essentially.
Yes.
He comes out, just fixes his tie and walks away.
Wake up, Basil.
I'm gonna write this man.
It's time to change your season.
I know it just happens every day at dawn. It's not even a
Okay.
conscious thing.
The conspiracy G man.
It's conspiracy.
Okay.
All right, for those who are keeping count, we gone Last of Us, Team Fortress 2, Dragon Age, and now Half-Life 2.
As long as we don't go via the boys, we're all good.
Yeah.
Maybe that one scene where the guy strokes the inside of you know what.
Yeah.
Even
Oh.
though Twitch is owned by Amazon, I don't think we're allowed to play by their rules.
Because we do not need a Homelander in this campaign.
Oh, I'm-
Okay.
no.
It is now morning because I want that scene to end.
All right. Basil wakes up and his blonde hair from his summer form has faded away, and now it is the russet orangish brown color of autumn. The leaves on his antlers have also changed to, autumn colors, and even the colors of his robes have changed. And even the little fairy next to him has changed to match his season as well.
where Jacob has basically set up the scarecrows in a circular order, and is basically doing the equilibrium gun carter with his hand crossbow.
Okay.
If anyone actually knows that reference.
Mhm. Joseph is just sitting on top of one of the buildings, shaving his head, looking down and across and just waving to people as they come out into the streets. Love your horns. Wish I had a set, but I probably couldn't grow them anywhere near that.
Why, thank you.
And you, sir, have more hair than I will ever have in my entire lifetime. Pointing to Zertan.
Thank you.
And it is glorious. It is a glorious mane.
I did shampoo it today. It's a way to make sure that nothing gets caught in the eyes.
CNN, because you're worth it.
What? Glad we are agreeing more and more every day, Jacob.
As the battle farmers come up, you have a few more adventurers in the group, but no one of any real note. Just the four of you kind of taking your positions to begin the battle.
Well, time to go tend my cannons.
Righto, Jacob. We'll see you on the battle lines.
Now, quick question for Arshis and Crumpler. Do you remember what I named the dragon? I
No.
think it was Brunhilde.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Oh, and then I'm thinking of that Bugs Bunny cartoon, What's Opera Doc? Oh, Brunhilde.
Yeah,
Yes.
and to describe the arcane cannons, they are beautiful, beautifully crafted, and on one side says tax exemption, one says no visitors please, and the other one says no junk mail.
Okay.
When you tell someone to take you off the calling list.
By pointing a cannon at them.
Okay, where's it, sir? I'm going to make a note in your file not to call on you anymore.
Actually, no. Can we make the third one named Solicitor's Escort?
yeah, sure. I'll just go with that.
Okay, so you're all waiting because you realize that there wasn't like an exact time of day. So as you're waiting, suddenly you hear the sound of many birds as they all start to chirp in a tune. It goes dun 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 dun, and then you hear the deep booming voice. I have come, and there's the sound of the stomping, and then out comes a large bronze-scaled dragon with his fist up. Who is ready to fight?
I fire a cannon.
The gods.
And everybody roll initiative.
Who's ready to fight? It's Jacob at the ready.
I got a 10.
Okay.
As did I.
What's your initial or your speed? Dex?
My +2.
I have a +1, so you go before me.
Okay.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Go on, Joseph.
I just rolled a 23.
Okay.
Right.
And
Your 10 got
Zertan?
12.
Well,
Let me choose that.
okay.
One goes over here. Two. There we go.
Okay, so Joseph, you actually get the initiative. The dragon just called out her challenge.
I'm going to as soon as she's doing that, I'm just going to stand about 60 feet away, and then I'm just going to raise my hands, and then I'm going to just as if I'm making to shadow box, throw a punch towards her, and then
Okay.
a vermilion psychic blade comes out from my fist and strikes at her. And we'll
Yoga
Okay.
see if
And from the skies, you hear yoga punch.
Okay, Joseph, make your attack roll, please.
that will be a 24.
A 24 hits. Roll damage, please.
I take it there's nobody within 5 feet of her right now, so I don't.
No, just her. The problem being the opening strike.
Oh, for 9 points of psychic damage.
All right, 9 points of damage. So you throw your punch. The psychic fist comes out and socks her across the jaw. She flinches barely, like, trial by combat is accepted, and she slams her fists together as she heads straight for you at top speed. Joseph, she is going to basically try to punch you, but she's not going to do very good with the first punch. You easily dodge a 10, I know.
Mhm.
Can you easily dodge a 20?
No, but I still do have one further psychic
Oh,
blade.
okay.
attack.
Sorry, please. Yes, do your second attack.
Yeah.
She's still going to punch
So-
you first.
Well, yeah. So it's like in between her punching at me because of the interrupts,
Uh-huh.
I'm throwing this second smaller psychic dagger, which is a nat 1.
You know, as much as I like to make those more punishing, I think that we've got enough going on with this adventure. So you tried the second one, and it just whisks right by her as she comes in with that 20 to hit you. And you said that hits?
Yep.
All right. This is going to be a little bit, so I'm going to use the dice roller. Oh, sorry. Your max damage on this one. That's going to be 17 bludgeoning as she punches you.
That is going to be cut down in half. So
Okay.
that's going to be 8 damage, I do believe, or is that 9?
We'll go with 8 because
Okay.
that's closer. Her second or her third attack is, what's your AC again?
16.
Okay, her third attack is going to make contact, but you're able to like jump out of the way just before. And so yeah, so everybody else, you just see you see Joseph, like throw out this punch, and then the dragon just flies right into him, fist swinging like a professional. Zertan, it is your turn.
Professional Zertan. Okay.
Oh, to be clear, so forgive me, just like if you describe this. So, what level of dragon are we dealing with in terms of size here?
Oh, this is a large dragon, so not a huge dragon.
Because I was
sees-
wondering, like, I was like, is it going to be like the fist the size of Joseph or bigger?
Oh no, the fist is about the size of Joseph, I would imagine. Like
Okay.
when she punches, she isn't crushing the building he is on. While she did sock him real good,
Yeah.
it was probably like being hit by the hay in a cart and not the cart itself.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
still hurt, but he isn't smashed into the side of the building. So
Okay.
to put it in more meta terms, this is a young, youthful dragon.
All right, youthful dragon. Okay, so I'm gonna, with my shield and battle axe in hand, I'm gonna use magic weapon to make the battle axe magical,
Mhm.
and just basically just charging it in with shield in front and axe at the ready.
Okay.
First swing, that'll be a 26 to hit.
Yeah, 26 hits.
All right, time to do some paladin math.
paladin math being very different from normal math.
I'm Aphrodin.
Yeah, math. Oh gods. Don't
We are playing a game around numbers. Don't ruin it with science and
don't
math.
yeah.
Don't bring
If
your
we play a
education into my
land
fantasy.
of fantasy, meanwhile he has canon. He's like basically playing a turret section of a game. That's another video game reference for those keeping score. Anyway, that's a 12 total slash.
12. Okay. You have 2 attacks or 3 attacks?
I have 2 attacks. So
Okay.
this is now going to be my second swing. That's a 21 to hit.
Yep. 21 just hits.
And another 12 for keeping consistent.
Okay. So grand total of 24. Yeah, you have been noticed for that. It's like, this dragon was like, oh, this is my opponent. And then you're like, the real contender has shown up. Basil, it is your turn. No, wait,
All
I'm
right.
sorry. Basil, you were last. This is Jacob's turn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my bad.
Wait, who had the higher of the 2 dexes?
That'd be Jacob.
Jacob.
I only have a +1. I'm slow.
Okay. Jacob, you can fire your first cannon.
Yep. I'm going to fire an acid jet.
Acid jet. Okay. That's a dex save, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and what is the DC on that?
Are we doing the actual DC on the arcane cannon or my DC?
Let's go with the cannon's DC.
DC 15.
15. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we start using yours, it's going to push an unfair advantage a little too far.
Yeah.
But at the moment, she is not able to dodge that. So you make contact with your stream of acid.
Yeah.
What is the damage there?
Okay, let's go roll.
Yes.
That is 28 acid.
28. Okay. That's a couple of really good first hits. And then Joseph. No, it's okay. Jacob, that cannon will be useful to you again in 2 rounds.
Okay.
So you probably need to move to your next cannon, which for simplicity we'll say you can make it to the next cannon in time. Basil, now it is your turn.
Okay. What kind of plants are in the combat area?
Well, Brunhilde has just left the tree line. I'm sure there'll be like some small gardens and berries. So there's probably like some thorn bushes of different varieties. And so is there something specific you're looking for?
Yeah. So I am going to cast Wrath of Nature.
Mm-hmm.
And let me pull that spell up again because I was looking around to see what I was going to do.
Okay.
I've never played a druid before, so this is new to me.
Also, I imagine like meanwhile, like we're just fighting this dragon, everyone else is just fighting birds.
Yeah.
It's like no one interfere, no one interfere. It's like we trained for weeks for this. Why can't we fight?
I think a bunch of them also went after the scarecrows that Jacob set up because they're hung over and they've been practicing against scarecrows anyway. So
Making
that's where a
themselves
lot
look
of the
busy.
present
We're doing our part.
especially with the nat 1 they just rolled.
Yeah.
A few of them are using this as an opportunity to settle old grudges,
Yeah,
and they're just
so
hitting
they're-
each other.
No one's watching.
Okay, so if there's any grasses or undergrowth in the area around Brunhilde, the area becomes difficult terrain.
Okay.
If there's trees in the area, at the start of each of my turns, they will reach out in 10 feet And she'll have to make a dexterity saving throw against a DC of 17.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and roll for that. And the trees reach out and start to grapple her hind legs.
No, they don't grapple. They
Oh.
do slashing damage.
Oh, okay,
So
even
they're going
better.
to do 46 slashing damage.
Oh, okay.
Do you need me to roll that?
Yes, please. Because she's not very dexterous at all.
Good to know.
Like
13 slashing damage.
13. Okay.
Yes, she did 13 slashing damage.
All right.
Are there any roots and vines in the area?
We'll say there's gonna is that gonna add to the damage? Because you know what? Yes, there are probably a few. She might be able to rip them up.
This is what she was just trying to do. Roots and vines
Mhm.
restrain a creature. She has to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Are you able to do the damage and this all in one round with the spell?
Oh, I believe so.
Okay.
I
I
don't
just
think
wanted
it
to make
says
sure
pick
before
one.
I rolled it. Oh, I swear I'm going to change out these dice very soon. That was a nat 1. She is restrained.
All right.
So,
And
Yeah.
then if there's any rocks, I can use a bonus action on my turn to cause a loose rock to launch at the creature, make a spell attack against her AC, and if it hits, she takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
I'm going to say there's probably no stones big enough to cause that kind of damage. But
That's fair.
but I will let you know if any buildings get knocked over, then that will become an option. Because that feels like as the environment changes, your spell should adapt to it. Okay.
Now that's a concentration spell, so just letting you know about that. And that's
Okay.
all I can do.
Okay. Well, we've already rolled for the peasants who got a 1, and that means that they are, even if they were doing their best, they weren't very effective. So we're just going to skip whatever stupid thing you think they're doing it. So
Well,
Joseph,
just
that
Basil
makes it,
said they are idiots.
Yep. Oddly enough, the people who thought that fighting a dragon over bragging rights for their tavern were not the best soldiers. They're
Who could
very
have seen that coming?
enthusiastic. But okay, Joseph, you have a dragon trying to punch you, and a lion man who is chopping down its feet.
I pull out my
Sure, she's
rapiers.
restrained now.
Okay, I pull out my rapiers to attack.
Mhm.
And the first one, for some reason, is going to roll the dagger, but I don't want to roll the dagger. So
Yeah, I would hate for you to roll a dagger. It's like, behold, dragon.
I have your smallest tooth in my hand.
We're gonna play spin the knife.
we're gonna play that
Everybody
knife
can-
game that everybody plays when they're stuck in the middle of central Idaho and they've gotten drunk
No.
and they're
Don't do that. The peasants will join in.
No,
is
it's
a
just
they
like you
haven't
get the
yet.
mythic
that is a
dragon
20.
slaying lance of myth or whatever, and it's like play spin the bottle with the dragon slaying lance.
I mean, I know. I believe that's the dragon laying lance if we play spin the bottle.
Joseph, what
right.
did you roll?
I rolled I rolled a 20.
Okay, a 20 hits.
All right.
And you obviously had advantage on this one.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, the dragon's restrained and someone else is attacking it. That's like
Oh.
everything a rogue needs right there.
I
I
did
thought
not
you
realize
already knew
so-
that. Yeah, this activates your sneak attack damage.
Yay.
I mean,
So-
like I not even remembering all the conditions. I know we hit at least one of them in this fight.
Yeah. So let me roll my sneak attack damage as well, because that is ungodly amounts now.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I made sure to accommodate for that in this fight.
So, oh wow. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's taking forever. I just hear clack, 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 clack of noisy magic math
Like
rocks.
we're just watching
So-
a pinball or a
Yeah.
pachinko machine going on.
So altogether, my damage dealt for that first rapier strike was 29. And then I-
29. Okay.
Yep. So I then follow up with the second rapier strike from my bonus attack because I'm using 2 weapons. I
Mhm.
still get advantage on this as well, don't I?
I believe so.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know the rules for your character better than I do.
Well,
the
no, because
dragon's free.
I only get one attack that I can hit with regards
okay.
to
Yeah.
the actual sneak
But-
attack, but
Yeah, but the dragon
But
is
yeah.
still restrained, so that gives everybody advantage who's trying a physical attack. That's how I understand restrained.
Yeah.
yes.
So you still get to make that advantage roll.
So that is an 18 to hit.
18 does not hit.
Okay.
So you really lay into her with this first one. And I mean, like, you must have just like you stabbed her in a soft spot. You've done enough damage that now she's like, maybe you really are the real threat. But first, I must deal with this rabble around me, which is really just Zertan. Zertan, she inhales deeply. You need to make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Okay.
What was that?
I said okay.
Oh, I thought you said 6. I was like, what?
All right, I got a +8 to this. 6. How did that happen?
That was my question.
It beats me. According to this, it doesn't make sense.
You could roll for that. I mean,
Okay,
I mean-
got 24 total on that.
24. Okay, so just making sure how this reads. All right, so this, you feel this wave of energy hit you, but you're able to brush it off as you do not get pushed away by the repulsion breath.
Hey,
Dragon just sort of narrows her eyes for a second, and then, well, oh wait, she'll have to roll for that one. So instead, she's going to try to just hit you with her tail.
okay.
I'm pretty sure a 24 hits you.
Since you're restrained, you do get disadvantage.
Sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
Screw you, Arceus. Does a 16 hit you?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay.
AC is 20.
All right, so, and the last attack definitely won't hit. So she was trying to get her tail to free, but the trees held on, and she's does she get to roll a strength save against that on her turn or yours?
Let me double check. Because again, I've never played a druid before. This is literally the first time I've ever used this
Yeah.
spell.
What better way to throw you right to the lion's den for you to learn a new skill?
Exactly. If I don't prepare for these games, why should my players?
Yeah, there we go. That's
Well, sorry, it's not Lion's Den, it's a Dragon's Den, and I'm just imagining him who's basically holding up basically a product called Wrath of Nature.
depending on the people's viewpoint, when you say we throw them in a pen like that, it's either going to be like a whole bit of dragons or it's going to be a bit of Komodo dragons. So just like,
Okay. A restrained creature can use an action to make a strength athletics check against your spell save, ending the effect on itself on a success.
Oh, okay.
At the end of each turn, it can make that.
Okay, so she would have had to give up her whole action for that, and she's not going to do that. Not being she's a big, powerful dragon.
that's beneath them.
Exactly.
Literally.
Zertan, the dragon has not been able to swipe at you, and she is now being held down by the local trees.
Roots, actually.
Oh, the roots. Yes, Kurt. Yes.
Sorry, I just want to be clear with the spell.
Yeah. I had the trees in my head from earlier. So yes, the roots are wrapping around.
That's fine.
holding
That's
her down.
fine.
This is going very many which ways. All right. No, this dragon is now. I'm not seeing a reason to use my smite yet, so I will continue with a magical enhanced battle axe and continue the assault.
Oh, okay.
And do I still have the advantage?
Yes,
Yeah.
as long as she's restrained, you have advantage.
Goody. 26 on that one.
Yeah, that hit.
That was permanent damage. All right, 6.
Oh, 6 damage.
Good mighty blow, guided by all the gods. Let's do
We just
it.
bounce out her armor.
Yeah.
It's okay. She's wearing dragon scale. It's very hard to get through.
Net 20.
Okay. Go cinematic with Zertan. How do you strike with this critical hit?
So I imagine it's just like he's able to make contact with the last thing, and that one's like, all right, just hit the exact same spot, and then just precision and hit it exactly where it needs to go.
Yeah. It's like you drew yourself a chalk line the first time.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
you're
There
going in
we
for the
go.
real hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's the trace. Now time to fill it in. So that'll be
Max damage plus another roll for that critical hit.
of course. It's now, gosh, I'm gonna become a math paladin at the end of this.
See, I just get nice suggested damages that I can roll.
All right, so that's gonna be okay. We're doing 28 total damage.
28.
Magical, if that matters.
Oh, okay. That got a reaction out of her. Do you have anything else this turn?
Well, I was thinking about doing compelled duel, but I'm pretty sure that's completely unnecessary at this rate.
Yeah,
I
I feel
think-
like you got
I-
her attention.
Yeah,
but,
I think I got
but
the
Joseph's
attention.
been struggling for it also.
Joseph like is like, not the face, not the face.
Speaking of people struggling for attention, Jacob, it's your turn.
Jacob.
That was a little mean. I'm sorry.
Pay attention to me.
The man with the cannon, after all.
Jacob rocks up to the second cannon, and he's going to do a lightning burst, which is a dex save, but since you restrained, you automatically fail.
Oh, okay, so automatically failed. I was going to give her disadvantage just for to have a chance
Yeah,
at it, but all right.
That's 60-10.
Okay.
I mean, 1, 2.
How many dice does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out.
That is 33 lightning damage.
Sick.
Is how much?
33.
33. Okay. So she's smoking slightly now. Oh, let me double check something.
Okay.
Arshes.
Yeah.
Jacob is going to learn a valuable lesson about bronze dragons today. They're immune to lightning.
Oh, well.
I swear I didn't know that until I
I
double checked.
I swear, if you healed the creature, you undoed my damage. I swear.
I wish I had thought of that before you said it, because that would have been hilarious.
There's a moment I just see like this fine cut, and it's just like, behold my strength and my training, and I just see just
It
like
just burns away the root.
just
You know what?
cinch it
Let's
up.
do a D100 roll to find out if that's going to happen.
Oh, great.
28. No, it doesn't happen.
Okay, good.
But I like the way you think. But no,
Which is why you keep inviting me back.
I was getting ready to double check the health, and then I was like, lightning breath. Wait a second. Immune to lightning. So we all learned something today.
It's okay. When you said bronze dragon at first, I actually thought you meant the ones that breathe fire. I was like, the fire
No,
dragon.
no,
It's a good thing I'm not
lightning and
snoring.
repulsion
That's-
breath.
I believe.
But still, that was very cinematic, and I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that cannon has burnt out for 6 rounds.
Okay.
So do you have anything else this round?
I'm just going to rock up to my third cannon.
Okay. So you tell your helpers, fix this, and then run out.
Yeah.
How do we fix this? It's glowing. Throw some water on it, maybe. Basil,
Also, our collective IQ is like 2.
Basil, it is now your turn. I know you
Okay,
need to
so-
maintain concentration, but
So I do have a spell here I can do where it's not concentration, but I do believe that Wrath of Nature keeps going as long as my concentration has not been interrupted.
I was
It does
say
not
yes.
say I have to use the action
Oh.
to use it every turn.
Sorry, I forgot because of the acid jet.
Uh-huh.
They have to make another saving throw.
Okay.
Dex, which is failed, so they take another 2d10.
I'm because this is working with an ability that was already in motion. I'm going to still give her a roll on that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to kind of outnumber her. You got to give her a little bit of a chance here. But thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Basil, I do believe you're correct. Your other ability should still activate, and then you still have an action. Unless it says you need to use your action to control it.
Yeah, it does not say I have to use an action to keep Wrath of Nature going.
Okay.
So the trees should be lashing out at her again so she can give me a dex saving throw.
Okay. And does it say she automatically fails on yours?
No, it does not say anything about automatically
That's
failing.
how
Restrain
Oh,
works.
okay. Okay, then go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. 46. So that's going to be eight damage.
8 damage. Okay.
Trees are wimping out on me.
I guess
The
they got a
roots
little
are
bit of that electricity must have affected them just a little bit.
Yeah, and the roots are still binding her, so they don't have to rebind her.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my action, and I'm going to cast my Circle of Autumn spell, and I'm going to cast Vitriolic Sphere.
Okay.
So that is a 20-foot wide radius. The Leonin and the Rogue aren't right on top of her, are they?
Yeah, they actually are.
Okay, I'm
Because
gonna
they're
aim at her
making
face.
melee attacks.
I'm going to aim at her face where they aren't at.
Actually, that's exactly where Joseph is. The way they've described it, I imagine they're at opposite ends of this dragon. So
Hit up the poop shoot.
well, I'm going to say based on the fact that Zertan was attacking one side and Joseph is on the other, you're going to have to hit one or the other in this attack.
Okay, who has higher hit points?
I'm particularly okay with being able to be hit by something if I fail it, because I am a rogue.
Yeah, Joseph has spent 2 weeks
Oh, that's
telling
true. It's a
everybody
dex
how
save.
quick
It's a
he
dex
is.
save.
Mhm.
It's a dex save, so I'm going to aim at where the rogue is.
Okay.
Good. That was a good decision. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I would say having seen them, it's better to aim for the rogue.
So I'm going
Because
to
the
aim
rogue-
my Vitriolic Spear so that the rogue is the one in the splash zone and not the kitty boy.
Thanks.
I do not apologize for anything. From now on, you are Neko-chan.
So I have rolled a 21.
Okay.
So,
Oh, you passed. You're not going to take any damage.
yay!
So
and
he's going to
since-
pull out a drop of giant slug bile, squish it in his hand, and he's going to turn it into this glowing, sickly green sphere.
Mhm.
He's going to launch it so that the rogue is the one in the sphere, and
Mhm.
she needs to make a dex saving throw.
which she can't, so she gets hit.
All right, so she's going to take 10d4 acid damage.
Ooh.
And then at the end of her turn, if she doesn't pass the saving throw again, she's going to take more damage.
Okay.
Let's see, it was 10d4. Crap, where's my d4 at?
Over there.
Thank you, that was very helpful.
Anytime.
Oops, I accidentally hit more than my d4s there. So let me do that again to make sure I get accurate rolls. All right, she's going to take 28 acid damage.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Yep. She is definitely showing the signs that maybe this wasn't the battle for her. Let me roll for the peasants because it's just fun to. They seem to be getting their act together. They
Now
are
they're
no
all beating up
longer.
the same scarecrow.
Yeah. they have defeated the scarecrows that this dragon brought with her. And they are now like, okay, they were all running in, and then suddenly they see a lightning bolt come shooting out, then followed by, like all this sludge. Like, let's wait until they're not throwing those kind of elements around. Or wait a minute, I want to see. No, they have decided the best way to deal with this scenario is to surround the dragon. That way, some of them will always be outside of the range of all these other attacks.
They also do need to stay outside of the range of Wrath of Nature, because I don't think it's. Did it say I choose the creatures in the Wrath of Nature or everything in the Wrath of Nature?
I would find out, because based on the positioning, Zertan would be subject to that. Joseph, no, but Zertan, yes.
Okay, so Roots and Vines will only secure one creature of my choice, so
Okay.
only she is restrained.
Okay.
And then trees attack each of my enemies.
Okay.
So
All right. So the peasants have rolled well enough to have taken down the non-existent enemies, but they did not roll well enough to come up with a good strategy. What else?
I forgot to mention, we did also say that the grass and undergrowth grew up, so the area around her is also difficult terrain.
Okay. So they're having some trouble organizing themselves, and they are moving very slowly through the grass. I just love imagining all these people with sharpened pitchforks who can't even get through the grass now.
Or it's like wheat field around her, and they're like trying to harvest.
Exactly. Like some of them had to go back and get their size. Joseph, it is now your turn.
I am going to roll with my advantage. And we shall see what I get, and I hope I get a 20. Please get a 20. Oh! I got an at 20.
Yes. All right, Joseph. As I said, the way I want to do nat 20s right now to make sure is you take max damage on your first roll, and then you add another dice damage roll to that.
Okay, so that includes my sneak attack damage then, right?
Yes, that will include your sneak attack damage, because why should a rogue be a fair balanced creature?
To be fair, the rogues only get one attack per round, so like,
yeah, I'm just giving Kyle a hard time because he's been with me the longest. So
yeah,
this is a very abusive player GM relationship we have, in that I am going to fly over your houses and throw rocks at you one day. It's so really expensive, and I'm saving up for it.
Do I make another attack roll, or do I just roll the dice again?
Just roll the dice again and add that to the max damage from a normal attack.
Okay.
Because this sounds like a really fair way to handle it when they've only got like an axe, but you have sneak attack damage. And I kind of agree that, like when you roll your dice, you could roll 2 1s and have less than your actual potential, and that just seems unfair.
That's true. Nothing's worse than getting a crit and dealing 2 damage.
Exactly.
All right. So,
but it just occurred to me what max sneak attack damage is going to be like. Let's put this way. If you're already over 70, then just tell me.
It is. So that is 67 damage just from the one rapier attack. And then I use my bonus action.
Don't save your bonus attack, because how do you want to go about this?
I want to pretty much like as if I'm doing a Sagat uppercut with a rapier, just kind of bringing it up and under and twisting my entire body with it. So
next question for you here, Kyle. Because I know your style a little bit, so I think it's fair to ask. Are you going for the knockout or the kill?
I'm going for the knockout, because we still need to figure out where her freaking gold is.
Okay, that is a fair reasoning. So, uh, uh, again, if you don't mind, I'll kind of do the cinematic for this. You rear back, like she's already like twisted her head because of all the lightning and the guy hacking at her. You rear back, your psychic weapon forming into a giant haymaker style fist that just clocks her right under the jaw. She goes falling down. I should probably roll for those peasants.
Oh no! Oh,
The peasants
What
were
a way to go,
hungover.
though.
I'm going to be nice and say the peasants aren't crushed to death, but there will be some shovels needed to try to excavate them out when she collapses on top of them. Joseph Lucerno, you have just knocked out the young dragon, who is already tied down. So I imagine the roots can just like form a net over her to ensure that she doesn't like fly away when she wakes up. You guys just take a moment. I need a moment here.
Well, when Jacob sees the dragon fall, he basically rocks up to his cannons and takes out the graft keys, so they're now deactivated.
You just put these
Oh my
cannons in
gosh,
people's
you guys
houses
like
and you're
a
taking the
landlord, but
triggers
with-
with them.
And basically, he says, if you want them activated, you have to pay me a fee.
Oh my god, you are a
fine fee.
landlord with cannons.
No, he's essentially Tesla. He's even worse.
Uh,
They have
I want you to roll a persuasion check here.
Oh God, that's not good.
That's what you get for being greedy.
He's not
you
going
are
to
not
give.
you are not Elon Musk. You do not
People don't even like Elon Musk.
What was your roll, Jacob?
That is going to be a 10.
10. With a 19, they counter, but you're using our land and you won't even, unless you're going to stay here, these are of no use to you. It makes more sense just to leave us with the activation triggers.
You make a good point, and I counteract that I don't want to, and walks off.
Okay.
Well, there goes the resale value on those houses.
They'll just have to hire somebody to make them work later on, but they still get to keep the cannon. You can't walk off with that.
I have 19 strength. I beg to differ.
There are 3 of them. I will give you permission to carry 1 around, but you still have to account for it everywhere you go. Like the day it doesn't make sense that you couldn't bring it to a location, it's gone.
So after the battle,
I know. Actually, the ones who try to counteract, I don't want to. On a second counter, picks up the cannon, walks away with it.
There you go.
here you guys, I'm going home. But
So they're
after
like,
the battle,
this is our house. We should be charging you a rental fee. You take the cannon and walk off.
Yeah.
The wife's just like, you're fixing the hole in the floor now. All right.
so Basil, after the battle, is going to walk up to the dragon that's been knocked out. He's going to pull out some smelling salts, crack them open, put them under her nose.
Let me give her a con save. A 1. She's going to be out for a couple of hours. Wow, these dice are going. They need to be cleansed. There's something wrong with them.
He's just going to kind of put his hands on his hips and be like, ah, shucks. I wanted her autograph. She was a fun person to fight.
And at this point, you see
If I
Jacob,
was playing a different character, I'd be like, "There's still time," and I just grab the claw.
and at this point, you see Jacob walking out of the house with a massive arcade cannon on his shoulder.
I am going to also establish that you'll have to mount it to something before you're allowed to use it again. You can't just fire it from your shoulder. I feel that's a little too unfair.
That's
Uh,
basically a gun at that point.
Yeah.
Enemy object, boom! It's like a dog.
I cast minimize, and I put it on back of my dog.
I thought when
We're
you
gonna scale that down, but I'll allow it.
It's like minimize. I thought you was like you're just minimizing a browser, so it's just like okay, and then just the cannon just goes in your pocket.
Now
Little point. Druids can cast Awaken.
This is true.
At this, also at this point, you now see a random mechanical greyhound with a cannon on his
Okay.
back.
Cal, we didn't hear what you just said, but yeah, here he comes like welding this cannon to a dog. Cal, what were you gonna say?
Joseph just reaches into the dragon's nostril, grabs a nose hair, and pulls.
I'm gonna roll with advantage on that one. It turns out that dragons don't have that particular form of immune defense, so no. They have a filter further back that you can't reach. The dragon will wake up, guys. You don't have to keep doing. I mean, if you want to try something else bizarre, like I'm not going to hold this from you. I just want you to know.
Jacob's looking around. Are you trying to wake up the dragon?
Well, yeah, we need to figure out what it is.
Okay, he picks out tools and starts removing a scale.
Don't do that. She's not in the greatest of conditions.
Basil's just gonna look at these two and he's gonna be like, "You got a handful of bookers and you're taking a scale. Well, if that's the way it's gonna be, I'm gonna take your favorite color."
Can dragons even see in color?
I don't know, but if gray's her favorite color, it's mine now.
No, you do the ultimate safe thing. You take their pronouns.
Well, I already got those when she met me.
Meanwhile, Sertens is in the back just watching the barbarians at work.
Also, Basil's gonna look over at the dog with the weapon welded on its back, and he's just gonna look at Juniper. Told ya.
Takes out the notebook, just with great disdain, puts a check mark next to your name.
Yes, one.
The dog looks at the two. He goes, "Dog." Walks off.
Like,
He's gonna look
another
over
for
at Juniper
me.
again.
I told
Hey,
you
no,
they
no,
could
that
talk.
one was mine.
No. You said that they had acid breath. It does, but I said they could talk.
And I said that animals say their own names. Dog.
Fine.
says dog.
That's a tie then, because
So you've got 4, and Basil has looking over the shoulder.
One.
Of the, no, you've got.
I have one.
I
Well,
can
2
see
now.
100 see 100.
Yes, 2. Glorious 2 points.
You're. Do you guys like ever?
she snaps
tally
the
things
book
up?
shut before Joseph can continue. It's like, so you want to wake up the dragon now? I'll handle that. And she flies over and casts a spell that I'm just going to DM says she gets to cast. Because I didn't pull stats for this creature.
She doesn't have stats.
Yeah, see, she's the DM's Deus Ex Machina device.
There we go.
Exactly. She's just she doesn't even have a class. I mean, she could be a bard, she could be a sorcerer, she could be a wizard, she could be a cleric, she could be a druid. I don't know. She's just,
Question: This is D&D. Wouldn't it be Deus Vox Machina?
You've already gotten your inspiration for this combat and you haven't used it, so you know. Okay, so the dragon will come to completely trussed up in roots and vines. It's like, I can admit we can call this one a draw. You did very well for I mean, it wasn't like fair fisticuffs, but
You
I
did
just-
not set the
Like,
parameters of
just-
the battle, my
yeah.
friend.
Yeah, you see Jacob just look up, and you see these massive gauntlets on his hands.
Basil's just gonna.
My dear
Jacob-
friend.
Basil's just.
Jacob's just going to stroke the top of
I'm
her,
trying
the
to
top of
talk,
her
you
nose.
sniveling peasants. Anyway, you did not set the parameters of the fight, my friend. You simply said 2 weeks. We abide by those laws. Therefore, if you try to change the rules now, I am afraid it's too late. And then it's just where he's just going to present his shield and axe.
and
well, I assumed you were all civilized beings, but I suppose that if you want to go with the letter of the word and not the spirit, you are correct.
Basil's just gonna chip in here and say, "I am a Fae. The letter is all that matters." Although to be fair, you were a delightful thing to fight. Can I get your autograph?
Yes,
pulls out a
you
little
can,
notebook.
and tries to take an arm, but it's like
Yeah,
you're gonna have to
and-
untie me first.
like civilized. No. That sort of thing left the window when I had survived the zombie apocalypse.
She looks around and is like, there are no zombies. Like,
Not here.
she just shakes her head and is like, you're gonna have to untie me if you want to get my autograph.
I'd rather take your
Basil
scales.
just snaps his fingers,
Huh?
and all the words come off her.
And
Okay,
she will
I'm going to grab onto her nose before she flies
What
away.
is with you in the nose?
I had
Because
a
it's actually the thing that I can hold on to.
So you grab around onto her snout while she's trying to like take the little quill and signs, like with a flourish. It is
Yeah.
like most people who are signing their like their signature may not really be their name by the time all the swirls and the flourishes, but you have an autograph of and this is like it's like elaborate calligraphy in Draconic.
I can
And
He's gonna
read
look
it.
at that.
And then her eyes kind of like cross to look at Joseph. Will you please get off of me?
But you're so warm and shiny.
She's going to inhale.
oh.
Hmm.
Joseph, you have the option of letting go right now, and I
I-
won't make you roll for this.
I will let go.
Okay. Well, you have defeated me in combat, not singular combat, not a proper duel of fisticuffs, but you have defeated me. So
I mean,
I will move my lair somewhere else, and you can probably survive what is coming without me. I can acknowledge your strength.
Basil's just gonna
Okay.
raise his hand real quick. Excuse me. He's
Yes.
gonna look at her name again in the book and be like, I can't read.
I can
Oh.
read Draconic.
if,
Well,
if you're looking, if
He's gonna show her that.
if you're looking for a name, it's I believe it's Brunhilde.
That is the
Brunhilde.
closest translation from Draconic, yes.
All right, so Basil's just gonna say, "Well, Brunhild, I for one thought you were a delightful creature."
Well, thank you. You are very gracious. I would very much punch you again one day.
Oh, it sounds delightful. Next time we'll have to meet when I'm in my spring form. That's when I have all my lightning magic. Oh, I wonder which of us can do more lightning damage.
Well, I would certainly enjoy finding out.
Ah, kind of a date then.
And now for the pleasantries, where's your gold?
I'm sorry. What? That is a very impertinent question to ask.
I asked it. Where is it?
Well, it's not like I brought it with me.
Oh, well. Good point. Oh well. And I'm going to allow someone to stop him, but you see him pull out his crossbow.
Basil's just going to put his hand up and like, technically she's still alive, so it's still her property. If we were just taking from her hoard, that would mean we were stealing, and fays don't steal.
Good point. Shoots her.
All right.
I'm actually going to stand in the way of the crossbow bolt because it's just like if we kill her, we still can't find the treasure. So I will take the hit for that crossbow bolt.
Okay.
Well, first you have to roll the hit.
Okay. That is.
But with him standing in front of it, I will say that it can be with advantage.
That's a 24. Okay, that's a 24 on the base. So with advantage. Okay. Oh, goddess. So that is going to be a 29.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah.
And that is going to be 12 points of magical piercing.
So you're going to see that reduced down to 6 points.
Like he looks at Joseph. Sorry, that wasn't meant for you.
Well,
Excuse me.
Don't reload. I would hate to have to damage the cerebral cortexes of one as intelligent as you, who would realize that even if you kill the dragon right now, because we don't know where her lair is, we wouldn't know where, her loot is, her hoard.
Basil's going to peek up again, and that would still technically be stealing, and Faye don't steal.
Well, you don't have to have any of the loot. You can just sit here and look moderately attractive. Anyway, good point. Sorry, came from a world where it was shoot first, ask questions later.
Just kind of pulling the crossbow bolt out of my out of my chest.
Basil's just going to put his hand on Joseph's shoulder and cast Cure Wounds at 4th level.
You don't need to do that much. You really don't. I've
No.
taken only about
14, I believe.
14. Yeah. So
Okay, I'll just do it at 1st level then.
okay.
How much is Cure Wounds again? I think it's like
I
D8.
thought I was just ready to say, fine, I'll take it back. Stab.
Good point. Yes, fine. Like, I will leave this to the more capable to interrogate. My methods would probably kill her.
There is a little bit of indignation in there as you say those words. Like, I would point out that there were dozens of you and only one of me. If we did this as a proper rules of Queensberry fight, I would probably have been the victor.
If we were doing this as a
Quite
proper
possible.
rules of Queensberry fight, you'd have to polymorph into a human being and do it unarmed.
Well, I am not the one who started off with magical armament. I tried to lead this as a purely physical battle.
In all
I
fair-
merely used the settings that you set up.
May I interject? Technically, you are a magical armament, so
Yes,
And-
but I left it purely physical. You brought in the armaments.
I actually used my own natural ability. So
And that is why I responded with a similar ability.
so
But
use
then
your
someone else used magical projectiles, so I use magical projectiles.
So between yourself and I, there has been a Queensberry rules fight.
Oh, yes, between you and I, and then she points to Zertan, but I was fighting 4 separate battles all at once. Therefore, I believe you only deserve 1/4 of the credit.
I was just gonna nod and be like, that's fair.
No, I can acknowledge that. So that means that I would be, because of my honor and ability to keep to a Queensberry's rule, would that mean that I would be entitled to some portion of the hoard then, for having taken my part and kept to those rules?
Well, I am going to allow you to face the oncoming threat on your own. So I feel like you have proven that this land is yours, and I will let you keep the land. But I am a fair being. I will let you have some of the meager treasure I have been able to accumulate in my short life.
And what is it that is coming this way?
Well, it's, and she kind of looks at it like, you've all been knowing that there is a threat coming for some time, have you not? I mean, it's, the signs are all there. And she's going to like take out a pen and paper and like trying to write in it very small for your sake. Like, here is a map where you can find where I was building my lair. And I guess I will just have to get a new hoard somewhere else. But that is a part of the challenge that was accepted. So,
And one of your exceptional skills should be able to quickly rebuild.
well, I am going to have to go and raid another tyrant to get started.
Jacob, looks, you got the map?
It's
Oh,
a map.
Basil's cure wounds, by the way, was 7 HP. So Joseph got all the HP back he lost from the arrow.
Nice.
Like, because bold person. Do we have the map?
I hold up the map.
Cool.
Yes.
Again, it's a rough but clear map that leads from here to the horde.
Okay, because I want more than this one scale. You see one of her scales on his back.
Basil's just gonna look up at the dragon. Brunhilde, I don't know crap. I just got here. What were you sensing?
Well, there is a great evil to the south, and it is slowly creeping this way.
What's the name of this great evil?
I don't know. I haven't interviewed it.
In my defense, I am from a different dimension.
Basil's just gonna look at her and be like, "You should get on that interview. Could have been important."
Well, that's not really what I was, just more of going to set up my own base and protect it. But you've already claimed this land and you're going to protect it. So I will be off. Good day.
Well, now, hold on. Is it possible for you to live in this land without terrorizing the people that live here?
Well,
Because the land could use it.
Well, the tribute was to pay me to protect the land. Didn't no one read my missive?
How
I just got here.
You had a missive?
Why are you all here to fight me if you didn't read the missive?
Magical portal.
I got a brochure.
Deposited. Yeah, I got deposited by a magical portal in the middle of the town square, and then people were preparing for stuff. So
I believe I'm here for shits and giggles.
I was awfully poor, so I readied myself for a fight.
Well, that is all completely logical and makes total sense.
Oh,
It's an adventuring party. We're not supposed to make sense.
Well, in all fairness, I haven't fought a living dragon, so it was cute. I was curious.
Well, since that has all been settled, I bid you good day.
Goodbye, shoots.
Hey, I step in the way of the.
Make a initiative roll. This is a brand new fight.
I step in the way of the crossbow bolt.
You make you add yourself to initiative then.
Okay. Okay, that's 11. So I'm assuming it.
Okay. Joseph.
I am
Anyone
waiting
else
for
who
the-
wants to intervene? I don't care which side of the fight you're on.
This would be going against the oath of glory and everything. So this is not his fight.
Okay, that's fair.
11, and I've got a dexterity of.
Okay.
No,
18.
you go first.
So basically, you're going to
Um,
try to. Oh, sorry, Basil.
I'm gonna cast Mold Earth under Jacob so that he gets sucked down into the ground. So that the ground is basically up to his armpits.
Okay, what was your initiative roll?
Oh, I didn't. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I just need to know how, because I know this all happens at once, but he might still get. I like the idea. I just
I
need to
got
know.
a dirty 20.
Okay. All right. So Jacob, the ground's going to start to sink under you. Joseph, I think it sounded like you want to use your help action to basically stop him from. Okay. So
Yeah.
we're going to do it this way. Jacob, you roll at disadvantage, and I'm giving her an armor bonus for everything happening to you.
Okay. So how do I roll disadvantage on this?
You would just
Right-click.
roll your attack twice.
Or you can roll, or you can right click on it and select disadvantage.
Oh, that
Okay.
also. But at the same time, since her initiative technically will go before yours also, I just want to include their things. I want you to make a strength save at disadvantage.
Okay. Okay, strength save. Oh, the attack would be a 23.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And the yeah, okay, that is going to be a 15.
A 15. You were very close, but she inhales and she.
Afternoon, library patrons. This is a reminder that
That
the
was a little bit
library
loud.
will be closing today in 1 hour at 5 o'clock. If you need to arrange for
Basil,
a
can you
ride
mute
to
for just a second?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so she inhales and directed solely at Jacob, she is going to let loose her repulsion breath that is going to send you 40 feet away.
Yep.
So just because I think it's hilarious, the jail was
Sorry about
directly
that.
40 feet behind you and you wind up in a cell. And with that, she's going to look at the rest of you. I bid the rest of you farewell. Good luck defending your new home against the great evil headed this way. And if you don't die, maybe we'll all see each other at the final global combat to save this world. Or you'll all die. And then she'll fly away.
I was just gonna wave goodbye to her. Bye, Booney.
Global combat?
Sounds like fun.
Are other dimensions involved?
Well, I
I
am
didn't hear
here
anything.
and I am interdimensional, June says.
That is true. It is kind of weird that we just got a brochure to come fight a dragon. Then again, it's the Feywild. They got brochures to check out your sister's lice.
I didn't need to know that, but that's a good thing to now know. I'm never going there.
Yeah, I think you are a little too mundane for the Feywild. You wouldn't fit in there.
I would think also having been a ruler of a city in the Shadowfell would also kind of preclude to me not being wanted either. So
He thinks the
Well,
Shadowfell's a
hold
real
on
place.
now.
That's adorable.
no, it is.
No, it's not. We made it up as a practical joke.
Then there's going to be a lot of people who are going to need to be let in on that joke, including one very, very charismatic vampire.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not real.
I just pat the top of the pixie's head.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
She tries to stab you with a tiny dagger, but it doesn't go through your armor.
It doesn't even go through the first layer of skin.
Yeah. Well, the people having not actually been able to decide which tavern defeated the dragon are now arguing that they all have dragon rights.
At this point, Jacob walks back out. What a waste. Could make some good armor on that scales.
But now we have a good friend instead.
No,
Or three of us have a good friend, and you are here.
yeah, it's all things considered, it's still quite nice. That was quite, that was pleasant.
I will stand up at the top of the nearest pillar in the town square as people are fighting about which of the two places are the best.
I should point out one of them was the one that helped to bring you here. So they're kind of arguing that because the adventurer won, we get the dragon rights. Okay.
Which
now-
was the one we were in when Joseph was lubing everyone up and June and I were watching the mating ritual.
So
That's
with
the one
that
that gets the
knowledge,
dragon right.
Joseph, begin your speech.
Friends, fair folk, I
Did
have
we finally break Kyle?
no, because when I reveal what I've rolled, you're going to laugh your ass off. Friends, fair folk, I have a suggestion and a decree that one half of the town that lives by this tavern shall then instead go to the other side, calling it the Good Tavern, and that the vice versa shall be done, and both taverns shall be named Denny's, and perpetually there shall be called an event called Baconalia, where all things shall be served with an extra order of bacon.
That's just Bacon Wednesday. I
But it's
guess
every
we can
day.
have Bacon Wednesday every day.
That is actually
And
a
now,
perfect response.
God, these are my bone dice. I'm supposed to love them because they are made of buffalo bone, and that's kind of got that macabre danger to them. But no, these people are now like every day is Bacon Wednesday.
Can't believe I won that when I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2 and it adds a 6.
I'm not saying that we're changing the town because Twin Drinks is too funny to me.
Oh no, it could still be called Twin Drinks, but
But
I'm just
yes, now
proposing
now everybody is this fight that was about to break up, start up between the whole town. It's now become a bacon festival. And rather than roll the con save for everybody not to have heart attacks over the next week, how do you all? I will go ahead and say when you all go to track down the gold, I've already rolled for it. So this is going to it's divided up in different like gems, coins, and all of that. But the grand total will be 170 gold that you can divide amongst yourselves. So I'll be nice and we'll say that's going to be 40 gold apiece. And yep, you can. I'll say, before next game, I'll even give you the opportunity to, if you need to upgrade to magical items, we'll say you find something. But you know me, I'm going to do better magical gear later on. So if you give me just a little bit of time, just keep your gold. I promise it'll be worth it. because before you all leave town, and I'll give you a chance to RP anything you want to do, the Turtle News Network is going to bring by a new missive. It turns out only 1 or 2 towns over, the local youths are trying to have a fundraiser to save their recreational building from an evil management landlord. And they are going to organize a wrestling match. So
The 80s cult, they want their movie back.
I don't care. We're doing this. The reason I'm giving you a warning is because this way you can come up with any wrestler profiles you want to create for your characters. Tag team, so I don't care.
On the day.
This is
I
what we're
looked at-
doing next time.
I looked at Jacob and I go, I have a proposal for you, and it's not of marriage. We enter into this. Your wrestling name is Steel, and my wrestling name is Flint. And then I point to Zertan and Basil. Whichever one of you two want can be named. It can take the wrestling name Sparks, because wherever Flint and Steel meet, there shall always be sparks.
You see you see Jacob looking at you like there's no expression in your face, and it's like he's just like unblinkingly staring. He's like 2 minutes ago, then goes okay and walks off.
So as we're wrapping up, is there anything you guys want to do with your in the town of Twin Drinks, which is having its Bacchanalia festival to celebrate the surviving fight of the dragon?
Basil is going to eat the first piece of bacon he's ever had before because he doesn't even know what bacon is.
I will let you handle that however you wish.
He's just gonna bite into be like, what the heck am I eating?
Pig, and walks off.
What's a pig?
A pig is the local law enforcement. I mean, did you not read the field manuals that come out?
No, that's
They stand about
course,
8
we're
feet
using
tall
this
and
phrase
have
law
these
enforcement.
stick bludgeoning cudgels.
Jacob sighs, just goes, bold person, do you mind taking this? I can only deal with so much stupidity.
I have a name. It's Joseph.
Well, you should have told me that, so I didn't need to call you bold person anymore.
We're going to work on your demeanor, I swear to God. But I then looked at Zertan. You want to help me with this one? Because I think you probably have more of the ability to discuss like things than I do.
I have no reason to decline, so I might as well.
I walk us all over towards a farm where there are 4-legged, squealing, big, fat, bristly-haired boars. These are pigs.
Ah, so these are your law enforcers. They
No.
seem quite bad at their jobs.
Why are they in the cage? Is it supposed to be the other way around? Are we in the cage? Is the cage just this big space?
No, Junebug. Obviously, these are the bad cops that didn't catch the criminals, and now they've been thrown in prison.
That makes sense. That's a great incentive for not being able to catch the villain, to become the villain.
Exactly, Junebug.
Ah.
See?
I will make a note so we can update the files.
I just look at Zertan with
Huzzah!
pleading eyes, with massive pleading eyes. Like, make this madness end.
Zertan, before you can get involved in that, I will say you have a small army of peasant farmers who are looking to their general for any last minute instructions.
Zerjan is just like, what is the best way to say that I'm breaking? This is not my responsibility right now in the most honorable way possible.
It's not you, it's me.
My life's just going in a different direction.
I'm not.
We've
I'm,
grown
I'm not sh-
into different people, and
I'm not
our
sure-
paths have taken us in different directions.
I'm
No
not. I'm not.
kidding.
I'm not sure I'm ready for a committed relationship.
It's not you. It's all of you, especially you.
I can't point to one single reason as to why I would wish to part ways with all of you. I can only point to it was him. It was all him.
Get him! Throw him in with the other pigs.
I mean, unless you tell me otherwise, that's what's happening, and that's what I'm rolling for right now. So everybody is looking at Jimmy with they're not yet throwing him into the pit. He's like, what?
He's just got a Zeraton t-shirt on.
Oh my god.
Like,
I'm going to make some for everybody. I could only get one done before the battle.
Somebody in the background just going, "You made incredibly bad sandwiches too. Forced them to be delivered upon us."
And then that is repeated by dog.
And that's where the camera will begin to zoom out
Yeah.
on all of this. I want to say that this is how I expected our game to go, because it kind of is. But at the same time, it's like, well, it's like Boulder Roulette. You know something chaotic is going to happen. You know the shape of what's going to happen. But still, when you're dodging the rocks, you're like, why did I get into this? So,
well, dodging the rocks is half the fun of Boulder Roulette. If no one's getting crushed under the rocks, it's not fun.
exactly. And somewhere our Seaman, which is, conspiracy man, is standing off to the corner, smoking his cigarette, making notes. It's like, I guess we are going to head into this wrestling competition in the near future. As he turns, puts out his cigarette, and fades into the shadows. We are going to call this session here because I honestly don't think you guys can do anything else to destroy this world. That was a good first start. So we will wrap up here for the night. As always, I am me. You're on my channel. I don't feel like I need to introduce myself. So let's do a round of wrap-ups. Everyone say farewell.
Farewell.
Bye.
I love
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Good riddance.
I'm talking. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm Crump64, also known as Suzy Crump on all levels of the internet. You can find me on all the socials, which is Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all and Instagram, all under the username of Crump64. I'm a man of nonsense, so expect nonsense on your way when you look for that. So again, that has been me.
I know that's going to be a departure from what you've seen of him in today's session. You're expecting sophisticated comedy. No, he's not Shakespeare. He's
I failed that portion of drama.
And for Shakespeare, got Frasier.
Does anybody else want to do this, or should I just call it for the day?
I'm Ashes. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and your friendly neighborhood Bush. I'm the name Ashes or Trev.
I'm Kyle. I sometimes broadcast here on Twitch under Flint Ewood 756. You can find me on Twitter by the same handle. I'm currently rebuilding my entire office right now from the ground up. So, and about hopefully the next couple of months that shall be done, because I've just had the roof leak fixed. It was supposed to be about last month that was done. so yeah. But that's me.
And I'm Luke. This is my first time ever playing on streaming anywhere, so this was a very new experience for me. You can find me living in my parents' house because I'm too poor to move out and live on my own. And I don't know why you watched me, but thanks anyway.
I think why am I here is the main question I ask during these games, but there's a reason why I keep showing up for them again.
Because you're the
speaking of-
DM.
Well, yeah, let's be honest. The DM is probably the least important person in this game.
Well, come on, the game wouldn't exist without you.
And I feel like I'm being punished for that every day. No, the truth
That's
is,
because you chose us.
I love this group. I love this game. There's a reason why I show up for it, even though it is very much like getting drunk and suffering from the hangover all at once. Like, it's fun, but I suffer for it, but it's fun. So thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by and witnessing this chaos bundle that just had a very, very loose thread, and all the weird stuff we created that I have made notes for and is now canon in our game, because apparently the cigarette smoking G-Man is a part of the world, and I had to incorporate that into my future notes.
Speaking of cannons, could you
And done.
could you no, I'll ask you afterwards.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to stat your new canon shortly, I promise.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to fade away, and we will see you next time. Farewell.